Hey everybody, this is Too Many Timelines. Today we're going to be talking about the Batman. My name is Jacob and I'm joined by.
Ian?
And Sean.
All right. I mean, who wants to start us off about this movie?
How can we start off with peak? I mean,
I think this is probably like one of the best world building in movie history. Gotham City, it feels like it's kind of like its own character in this movie.
mm,
Yes.
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 I
That's one of my
I
notes.
agree, especially with I think I can speak for about all of us that we started off with Christian Bale's Batman. That was where I started with DC. So
Mhm.
there's such a difference of the Gotham in Christian Bale's versus like Patterson has it is its own, like you're saying, it's its own character
Yeah.
of Gotham.
Yeah,
They did
Batman Begins. I feel like Batman Begins had a pretty solid Gotham, but then they went away from it for some reason. Then it just felt like a normal American city. But this Gotham and the Batman is just phenomenal.
Mhm.
completely agree. Yeah, they did a great job of making Gotham have its own personality. I think you're right. In Nolan's trilogy, it just looks like New York. But in this, they really nail the balance between modern city and also like a gritty and gothic vibe, which I think this version of Batman really, really needs.
Agree, agree. Um, I was actually gonna, I was actually gonna say what, with the Batman, wasn't, I enjoyed, Christian Bale's Batman, but this movie in particular was what kind of really got me in my DC run. Like, Man of Steel was fine. I know a lot of people have like a lot of hot takes of that movie. It was okay, but like watching the Batman, that theater experience made me into a Batman fan. Couldn't like speak for the rest of DC until we got the most recent Superman movie, but it's a life-changing movie, man. That's
It
crazy.
is. I saw this movie 4 times in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw it at
But
least, I think I saw it 3 times.
I think
And
the opening. Go ahead, Jacob.
um, so many people say it was way too long. I've watched it multiple times and have been thoroughly enjoyed it the whole time, the whole duration.
Right.
I think those are
Yeah,
just small-minded TikTok brain people.
they needed Subway Surfers in the background while they watched this
Subway
movie.
Surfer with the
I
subtitles at the
think
bottom.
I was thinking about that today. It's it is long, but I can't imagine a single scene not being in there. I think
Right.
every scene had its place, and it was great. And I think the opening sequence from the beginning to where he finishes fighting the Street Gang might be the best superhero intro sequence ever. It sets up his character, what he currently represents, being vengeance,
Mhm.
and the
Hmm.
journey he's about to go on. Meaning that the guy who was being harassed, like by the street gang, looked at the guy who just saved him and said, "Don't hurt me." It
Mhm.
sets his journey up perfectly because he's not only putting fear into criminals, but also normal people. And by the end,
Hmm.
he represents a hopeful figure for Gotham City, and all of that without a real conversation. Perfect setup for his character, start to finish, right in that intro. It's the best intro sequence for any superhero movie ever, my opinion.
Hi Him reading from his journal as the opening monologue sets such a great tone for the movie. We, like, immediately have a deep understanding of Bruce's character and his motives, and one of the best lines in the movie that still gives me chills is when he says, "When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call, it's a warning. To them, fear is a tool. They think I'm hiding in the shadows, but I am the shadows." Like, oh my gosh.
Yes,
Every single
you're
time
right.
I get chills. Like,
I love the idea.
when that can rolls into, like, the shadows and the guy who just robbed the bank just stares at it, and that is chills every time.
Yeah. I love the idea that they said of how right off the bat of him being the embodiment of fear right from the opening act. The fact that he could always be there lurking in the shadows, being enough of a deterrent for them, and even especially like after just 2 years of being Batman as well. It actually is crazy when you think about it that he has instilled all this fear in these criminals. But again, the problem is he's instilling fear in normal people that don't need to fear him as well, which is why I love the journey he goes on in this movie. But for his character. But yeah, you're right. That opening sequence of him, perfect. Can't say
Mm.
any enough of good things about that.
I I was gonna say I was gonna piggyback off of I like that it's also like an early Batman. It just really like especially like that fight sequence. He's getting some hits in. He's getting hits on him. Like it shows like he's not like a very well trained Batman, but also like he can stand his ground. So I thought that like the opening scene was like perfectly sets the tone of like where like you were saying where he's at in his journey as Batman. Just jumping into this movie. It's perfect.
I love the attention to detail of how observant he is. Every crime scene, he is just walking around observing every corner, every piece of the evidence in the whole room.
Mhm.
And
It's
that's an and
actual detective work.
we
Yes.
immediately gauge that when he's doing the mayor scene at the beginning after Riddler gets him.
And it's great too because he's got the eye recorder, which is
Mhm.
So
amazing,
cool.
by the way.
Yeah,
That doesn't get
that
old.
was
Every
awesome.
time I see it, I'm like, that's sick. But
And he says
you're
he
right.
forces himself to rewatch everything.
Yeah. I also something that we didn't get that I'm glad we didn't get is a rehash of his parents being killed.
Thank you.
I love that we didn't get a rehash of that
Well, we
because
immediately we immediately feel that connection when he looks at the mayor's kid.
Jacob, you and I are like on one right now. It's in my notes because
Like
it's
that's all we needed. That's all we
that's all
needed.
we needed.
Yeah.
It's because it's contextualized perfectly in just 1 minute where he and the
Yeah,
kids stare at each other after his dad is killed by the Riddler in the beginning. You can almost see how Bruce is feeling about it.
that's it. Yeah.
And the unspoken bond between them and their connection of losing family to murder. No scene needed, no words, just a perfect lingering stare. That was all that was needed. Of course, it's brought up that his parents were killed, and that's like brought up by multiple people, including him. But right off the get go, where you would normally in Nolan, Burton, Snyder, like no matter what it is, beginning of the movie, you get a flashback to his parents being killed. You don't need
Mhm.
it here. It's perfectly done in that one scene.
We don't need to repeat the alleyway scene every every time. Go to the movie theaters. Oh, that was great. Bang in the alleyway. Like we don't. It was just. It was. It's honestly not to like bring Spider-Man into this, but like this is kind of what I wanted when we were introducing Tom Holland, and we they kind of brushed it over there, but like that it was like the perfect setup for Batman. Like you were saying again, nothing needed to be said, and we were like we know we are we know what we were talking about. We know we're talking about Bruce's parents dying and things like that. So it was just it was perfect.
Yeah, and I love when he gets back to the Batcave and takes off the recording lens. Um, you could see the toll being up all night takes on him. It's
Hmm.
not spoken, it's shown. In other iterations, he's just like, "Oh, I'm sleepy. Oh, I've overslept. Alfred, where's my coffee? My nightly activities have me sleepy today." You can see his bloodshot eyes and the look of defeat after every single night takes on his
Yeah.
body that he has. He's just like, "Oh," like that's realistic. Watching this movie, his gadgets, how he acts, the way he does his detective work, I feel like I could be Batman if I tried hard enough. In other iterations, I don't necessarily feel that way, but in this one, I'm like, you kind of get the feeling that he is a normal dude who's doing his best and he's got the money to back it up and the
Hmm.
smarts and the skills to back it up. And I think that's missing in a lot of other Batman movies. It's like he gets the gadgets, he builds the gadgets, and all of a sudden he is a master at those gadgets after using them one time. And it's like, it kind of breaks realism for me, but like really what I love about this movie, and I think where we'll go moving forward, it has is how grounded it is. I think that's great.
A lot of people don't like Bruce Wayne's interpretation in this, but that's because he doesn't care about Bruce. Batman is he thinks he can only have an effect as Batman. It's like Bruce is the mask and he's actually Batman.
I was also gonna say like I don't even think that that's really even like personally a negative for me. Like that was there was no Bruce Wayne in this really much Bruce Wayne in it at all. And like I think like when we get to the funeral scene, where when we can talk about it when we jump in later, but just how we never see him, I think that's just a really cool thing. It's like, hey, he's around, but you don't really see Bruce at all. It's really I like that.
Before we get into the rest of the story, let's talk about like his bat suit and Batmobile. So I think this is probably the best live action bat suit. Would you all agree or disagree?
I was giving that a lot of thought today. I used to think it was a great bat suit. It wasn't my favorite, but I was rewatching it
Mm,
today. It's the it's the best.
It's the
It is
best.
the best live action bat suit without a doubt. Because I used to think that, it's not as comic accurate, I would say, compared to some other iterations. Like, I think Ben Affleck has the most comic accurate bat suit, but he's not a great Batman. and and like Christian Bale's Batman, I think he has a good bat suit. I think he has a better bat suit in Batman Begins, but I think this blends the Dark Knight and Batman Begins, that bat suit, and also puts its own twist on it that I think really takes it to another level that is I it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. It is perfect. Maybe the bat symbol. I hope in the next one we'll get a more distinct bat symbol with the ears and everything, but like the bat suit is perfect.
I will also agree that I think this is the best one, but I guess the better question is since we all agree, would you say Batflick is like the second? Because I I would think so, honestly. I like Batflick's suit as my second. And as even a hotter take, I like it when he had all the armor on in Batman v Superman.
Wrong.
I kind of liked it, to be
Oh
honest.
wait, okay, wait. The suit where he fights Superman?
Yeah, yeah, like that was
Okay.
pretty sweet.
For some
Yeah.
reason I was thinking about the suit he wears in The Flash, where it's a little more armored,
No, no, no,
which
no,
is terrible,
no.
by the way. Um, no, his Batman versus
Honestly,
Superman suit is good. It's really, really good and comic accurate.
Yeah.
I think Pattinson's suit is so far and away the best that I don't even care to rank the rest. The
How do you
length
feel
of
about
the
Michael
ears.
Keaton's
No, no.
bat suit?
I like
You
that
mean the guy
suit.
who turns his head like this? Uh,
I
no,
mean,
silly. Okay, Pattinson, the length of the ears is perfect. The collar, him having that collar is immediately his signature look, and I hope
yep.
they keep that for the rest of his trilogy.
Love the collar.
Yes.
I
And like
One thing I've heard.
oh,
Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna say the one thing that I disagree with a lot of people is that they don't like the nose on the cowl. Like they think it looks weird. I don't mind it at all. Like it literally does not take away anything for the Batman suit. Like it looks perfect.
okay, all of his bat suit and Batmobile, what I love about it is it looks like he literally built it in the Batcave, in a garage, like a normal
Correct.
guy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Would
Also, his cowl to like combat that, Sean, is like a leather, rubber, latex, whatever. It is a soft material. In like Batman Begins or the Dark Knight trilogy, it's a rigid piece that goes on his head. You can get more of a nose shape there, but in this, it's just like a pliable material. You can't really point that out too much without it looking ridiculous. I thought having like a leather cowl, which his cowl by the way is perfect. The ears are perfect. It looks perfect.
perfect.
It fits his head so well. Like it's just also the mouth opening as well. Amazing. That's the best mouth opening because in Bales you get this. And he's like,
Yeah,
it's like
Yeah, it looks weird.
it looks like it's
I'm
suction.
Batman.
onto his face.
Exactly. But this was perfect. And the nose, like you can only do so much with that. But
Mhm.
I don't that didn't bother me at all. I thought that just added to it.
Yeah. I also love the eye, like the eye makeup around it. It really just adds that extra. I don't want to call it like a zing, but a zing to just everything with
Little
it. It looks
zing,
great.
little
A little
zest.
zing. It's amazing. It's a little nice added touch.
No,
But
I
I was
love
gonna
the
go off of what
Batmobile
Jacob,
also, Jake.
yeah, the Batmobile. Um, I would probably say this is my favorite Batmobile, even though Christian Bale's was pretty cool, but that was like more like a militarized Batmobile. Like this one was pretty sweet.
Yeah, the
I didn't
Tumbler,
get
Bale's Tumbler and this are really close for me. I feel the Tumbler kind of feels more like a tank though, rather than like a fast Batmobile. So I think maybe Pattinson's here.
see, I like a Batmobile that has bat like style, I think. Like I love Michael Keaton's Batmobile. I don't love it when he gets to Val Kilmer and George Clooney, but his Batmobile is what I grew up on Batman the Animated Series, and it is very, very close to that. And I love that. Like it has the fins kind of going back on Keaton's, but like on this one, it's just stylized enough, but also like a cool man-made muscle car that he has added his own gadgets and stuff to it that adds so much more personality to me than the Tumbler because the Tumbler to me is just a tank and it doesn't have any personality and I don't love the Tumbler at all,
Hmm.
really. I don't think I ever have. I never thought it was great for like a Batmobile.
Hmm.
It's a mobile for sure, but this is a Batmobile, you know?
Right,
Yeah, I'm
right.
not too like ardent on my Batmobile ranking because Pattinson's kind of does look like a Mustang and Camaro had a baby. I mean, that's all it looks like.
But it's all like for me though, again, like being kind of more in beginner for like Batman and DC, like I love how simple it is, like at least for me, like after the movie came out, like you see like the actual people actually have in the car, so it's like really cool versus you can rarely see the Christian Bale's tank mobile out in the real world. So it's really cool to, at least from just a general perspective, I love just the simple look of the Batmobile for Patterson.
Okay, even if Pattinson may not have the best Batmobile, the entrance of him chasing the penguin, peak cinema.
The one video that always pops up on TikTok is like, "Hey, don't forget about the scene." I'm like, "Hey, man, no one forgot about that scene."
And then the shot of him walking upside down towards the penguin after he gets him, that's amazing.
The
Yeah, I
fact
don't
that
normally love car chase scenes,
yeah,
but that car chase scene was pure cinema. Like the trumpets intermittently blaring through the rain and the ending where he was walking towards Penguin, it was beautiful. Like from start to finish, I was on the edge of my seat.
Oh my gosh, we can talk about the music. The
all
slow
day.
piano for mysterious moments, and then violins for suspenseful moments, and then the trumpets for victorious moments. It's just it's amazing.
Agree.
So like I love the score so much because it's so simple.
Mhm.
Um like even so you take the Ahsoka show when Balin, Skull, and Shin Hati they come around. There's that underlying theme of like just that very simple dum 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 dum, and this is very simple as well. It's just the dum 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 dum. Like it is simple, catchy, and not I want to say pretentious. I feel like Christopher Nolan's trilogy has some not as memorable themes throughout. Like I would have a hard time. I've seen those movies a million times. I would have a really hard time distinguishing those. But this, like you hear it, that's Batman, and
Yeah.
it's perfect. Love the score in this movie. It's amazing.
I we can get into maybe towards the tail end of like rankings, but it's up there for me, like personally, like top five, like best superhero nerd cinema, like soundtracks for me, honestly. Like I completely agree with like the slow moments of just piano in the back, just to add that little, especially in the detective scenes, just it's perfect.
Something else I wanted to talk about, the combat in this movie. The way he fights is in my opinion, the best fighting of any Batman we've had in live action.
Yes. It is almost
Um,
like sorry, you can go ahead.
no, go ahead, Jacob.
It's almost like every single person he fights has personally harmed him.
Yeah, he just knocks him out, and it's great. And I think that you think, like I love how he acknowledges it too. Like he's like, "Oh, I broke that guy's nose." Like that's great. And to have and like you compare it, I think most people would probably compare this in recent years to, as far as the combat is concerned, to Ben Affleck's fighting and Christian Bale's fighting. I think
Mhm.
Ben Affleck's fighting, most of the time he's fighting monsters and ghouls and goblins and what have you and aliens. But like the warehouse scene, yes, that's really, really good. But that was one scene. His fighting throughout the movie was just the best, and it was so you could see all of it, unlike Christopher Nolan's fighting, where half the time he was just doing this like
Just throwing
This.
elbows.
yeah, it's you the fighting in as much as I love the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, the fighting in the hand-to-hand combat in those are
Not
terrible.
good.
And
Besides the
anybody
Bane
who
scene,
the Bane scene's okay, but like overall across the whole trilogy, the hand-to-hand combat in that trilogy is bad.
yeah,
It's
It's
just
bad.
bad.
Yeah. Fantastic movies, but bad combat.
yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, fantastic
Just
movies.
the
But this is one of the only movie lines that I don't really like to compare because the Batman and the Dark Knight are like two totally different interpretations of the character. like
I
they're both
completely
they're both in my top 10 movies of all time for sure. But like the Batman feels more like a gothic thriller and detective mystery, and the conflict is like more internal for Bruce in this one. And then for the Dark Knight, it feels more like a crime drama, and most of the conflict is external from
Mhm.
Batman.
I was
But
piggybacking off that. Oh, sorry. You continue.
no,
Continue.
no, no. Go ahead, Sean.
I was gonna add on to like Patterson's Batman is just very it's a very gritty, dark, like Gotham, and that's kind of like whenever I hear about like you hear the word like Gotham, like I think of like Patterson's versus like Christian Bale's like I don't really get like that dark feel. I feel like I'm unfortunately like in New York City, like watching Christian Bale's Batman.
Okay, Jacob, to what you were saying about the vibes you get from this movie, um that his conflict is internal and that it's gothic and it's like a crime thriller. Those are all things that perfectly personify Batman.
Yes.
That to me is stuff I think about, and it's exactly why I think this movie proves to me, based on the writing and the cinematography and the music and everything culminated together, makes Pattinson a better Batman than Bale. I know that's not, the topic of conversation we're having right now, but when I think about Nolan's trilogy, you take all those things into account. It's it's like its own movie, and there's a guy that just happens to be dressed like Batman. It
hmm
doesn't feel like a Batman movie. This felt like through and through the side characters, Batman himself, the villains, through and through a Batman movie. And it's pure cinema.
I agree. I think The Batman is a better Batman movie than The Dark Knight for sure.
I agree. You were going off of like the side characters, and I think Alfred for Andy Serkis's performance on Alfred. I know it wasn't as much as Christian Bale's, but I think he's probably my preferred Alfred too, to be honest. I know we didn't get too much, but preferred.
My preferred Alfred is the Alfred in the Gotham TV show. Have you guys ever seen that show?
I've seen TikTok clips of it.
It's some of it is really good. Not all of it. I will say Bruce's and Alfred's relationship, since Bruce is a lot younger in that show, like he's a kid. The Alfred in that show was really, really good.
Okay.
But I think when I think of Alfred, I don't think of Andy Serkis, but I think he was good. I just don't think he was in it enough to cement himself as like a really standout Alfred. To me, whenever I think of Alfred, I still think of Michael Caine, which is,
Mm,
he's a great Alfred, but uh, I hope Andy Serkis gets more time to shine in the next one and has more emotional impact on Batman's actions and what he does, like he, typically does in most other Batman media.
right.
Yeah, I think Michael Caine is still my favorite Alfred. And then as if we're comparing The Dark Knight to the Batman, I think Alfred's better in Dark Knight, and the main villain Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker is phenomenal and one of the best acting performances of all time. But then I think every other category I have to give it to like the Batman or it's even. Like I think both Gordons are even. I think the side villains like Penguin, Falcone, I think the Batman is better on that side. And then Gotham is way better in the Batman. Batsuit and Batmobile is probably better in Pattinson's. So yes, I agree. The Batman's a better Batman movie.
Let's
Hmm.
talk about the side villains really quick. So, Carmine Falcone was great. He really commanded a lot of presence on the screen every time he was on there, and I was locked in. Penguin, I forgot how little he was in this movie after rewatching it. I, for some reason, was thinking he was in it a lot more, but he was really good. And the fact that, like, you think about Colin Farrell, that dude, the makeup, you just don't know. And
Yeah.
it's perfect. And I think that Danny DeVito has a really great penguin. He's a really
Mm.
great penguin. But in this particular style of storytelling, I don't think they could have done the penguin any better. Um, I guess that was like the main. I guess that's the main two side villains. But I loved both of them. I thought they were really, really good.
Well,
Mhm.
Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman's also fantastic.
Oh yeah, I wasn't really considering her a villain, but she was great. Her fighting style was so Catwoman, and her suit was awesome. Like she was Catwoman through and through. I think she is the best Catwoman by a long shot.
Agree. As much as I like Anne Hathaway's performance, like by far, like she
I
has a
bet
better
you do love
performances.
Anne Hathaway's performance, Sean.
I do. I do.
I bet you do.
He said she drives the bat cycle really great.
That scene where she gets on the bat cycle, Sean's like, oh.
A 9-year-old meme like, oh, this is cinema.
Let's talk about Riddler. We haven't talked about the Riddler at all.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
let's talk about that.
so-
Did you want
um,
him to have the goofy hat with the question mark on top?
no, please, no.
No,
Jim Carrey? You don't want Jim Carrey?
I mean, Jim
I've
Carrey's was
heard
pretty good.
I'm not dissing Jim Carrey. He's great.
Yeah.
Jim
I
Carrey
liked
is
his
great.
Riddler.
The
His
Riddler,
Riddler was pretty
maybe it was
good.
just because it was sandwiched between that terrible movie, but I think this Riddler for this story and what they were trying to do was about as good as you could do it. I've had a lot of hate on Riddler, in this movie. If you're like, oh, he's like the Zodiac killer or whatever, and I don't know too much about that, but they're like, oh, he's just like an edgy Twitch streamer or something, and
Reddit user.
I just yeah, like yeah, I think that it's great. I think that he is very menacing, and the riddles throughout was really cool, and the fact that he was not in this movie all that much when you think about it, when he was technically the main villain, that's how you do a good Riddler.
Mhm.
Riddler in a movie where he is the only villain, the main villain, it doesn't work all that well. Having him basically send Batman on a wild goose chase for a big drama and crime family crap going on. That's how you do Riddler. And then he's, obviously got a bigger plan because he's the Riddler. But to have him barely in it, and I think that's great. I think it cemented him as a really solid villain that was internally a really messed up dude. And I think that's where Matt Reeves really
Yeah.
shines in his direction and writing, that he's really good at bringing out the internal oppression of people and their own mental diseases.
Yeah. I was gonna say like you were going off of like Jim Carrey's like the green and purple tux thing. I think that this Riddler fits perfect of what this universe's Gotham is. Like I think if you did anything else with Riddler, I just do not think it would fit the tone of what the movie has set, especially being more of like a detective movie. I think it was honestly perfect.
That's a really good point you made, Ian, that I hadn't thought about. Not seeing the Riddler made him a more menacing villain. Like, we
Mm,
only knew his personality through the letters and through the cards that he was leaving.
Yeah, because Riddler himself is not, intimidating in the slightest.
Mhm.
He is a
Sorry, mentally
just a
intimidating.
yeah, he's just a normal kind of looking dude. He's not strong. He's not a good fighter, really. He's just kind of there. And to have him
And
in the background pulling all the strings is really a good way to do it.
back to my internal conflict, the Riddler thinks he's helping the Batman expose this corruption and get
Yeah.
vengeance. And then the Batman's like, "Oh my gosh, I need to change my whole outlook on the Batman."
mm,
It's great.
It
yeah.
This
sends
movie's
Batman on
fantastic.
a yeah, it sends Batman on his own personal journey. And I think based on how they were, I guess, portrayed to be raised, both being orphans and whatnot, that internal conflict was absolutely paralleled for a good part of the movie until it's not. And that turning point is what makes the Riddler such a good villain for this version of Batman.
Mhm. The only thing I was gonna add onto about the Riddler is it was one thing that kind of disappointed me was there wasn't like 300 like Riddler like thing collectibles to grab throughout Gotham. Like they didn't go through that with the Batman movie. It was kind of disappointing. No
Where were the Riddler
Batman wearing like
trophies?
slow mo. Yeah, where are the Riddler trophies, man? I have like 300 to collect, man.
I agree. Yeah, where are the Riddler trophies?
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing we could mention is the cinematography. If you pause the movie at almost any moment, it could be a computer lock screen.
Yeah.
I love the part when they removed the rug and like it just showed like the whole like the whole flood plan with Officer Martinez. Like that was just like going off of cinematography, like such a simple like shot, but like honestly like that itself I would have as like a wallpaper on my computer. It was really cool. And especially the upside. I'm pretty sure every guy has this on their laptop. It's just the upside down of Batman just walking towards the car like cinema.
I think that the plot of this movie is ridiculously good, because I think in a lot of other directors' hands and this type of story, the plot could have easily been all over the place. The way the plot weaved in and out of the Riddler's antics and simultaneously uncovering the crime family drama, as well as Bruce's family history bit by bit, which led them crossing, and then the final act, was amazing. But to have the Riddler leading off with a clue to uncover mayoral corruption, police corruption, court and justice corruption, and then to the rat, which led to the sins of the father being Thomas Wayne, to Falcone, back to the rat, and have them all connect in a meaningful way is very difficult. And they did it so well. And to have that many moving parts in a story, and especially a story that's almost 3 hours long, and keep interest and engagement is a wonder to filmmaking. Because just reading that, like I'm reading it, to be honest, I got it on my phone right here because I was thinking about it earlier. I wanted to get what I was saying off the page. But to have that many moving parts and just to read it and hear it out loud, it's like, whoa, that's a lot going on. But the way they did it was actually amazing, and a genuine credit to writing and filmmaking as a whole, and really did a huge credit to this movie for sure.
I'll piggyback off that, especially being more of like a more casual like DC fan, like I didn't even like lose interest with all of like these loops of how much it involved everybody, um, when everything was revealed. So I thought it was really nice to just go in kind of blind, not knowing really too much about Batman and its lore and just everything just unraveling at the end. It was really nice. And the fact that there's nobody complaining on like Twitter or like all over like all over like, oh, here's this loop, here's this stupid loop, like no complaints whatsoever. And that's how you know you did a good job.
I seriously think my only minor issue with the movie is I don't like how too bulletproof he was. I
I
think
knew you were going to say this.
that's basically my only problem.
Jacob,
Like he took a shotgun to the chest, and then he just like had to catch his breath for a second. I'm good now.
Jacob, hear me out on this. If you decided, if you were gifted basically unlimited money
Okay.
and you thought, I'm going to go fight crime and face gunfire and criminals,
Yeah.
would you go out in a homemade cloth suit?
He can be a little bit bulletproof, but he literally took a 12 gauge to the chest from like 5 feet away, and then he just like lost his breath for a few seconds.
Yes, but in if you're thinking about, oh, I'm going to go be a superhero, I'm going to go fight crime and be a vigilante and take gunfire. In the first few years, right when you start, you want to be the most bulletproof you possibly can.
Right.
I have
Also,
no I
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go. No, no.
I was just going to say I take no issue with how bulletproof he was.
I
Because
had no
that's what,
issue with it.
think about it, that's when you want to be the most bulletproof. Maybe when you're down the line, you're more experienced, you're dodging and weaving a little bit more. You don't need all that armor. You can sleek down the
Okay.
suit a little bit. But this is when you need to be the most bulletproof, when you're the least experienced in your crime fighting journey.
I think it would be cooler if his cape was bulletproof and he could like throw it around himself. You know what I'm saying?
Cape stun.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
Arkham Cape stuns.
Dude, also it's
Bulletproof
becoming
cape.
have y'all noticed it's become a trend that every hero in a movie has to have a hallway scene
Yeah.
That's true.
or
Yeah.
even villain like Darth Vader in Rogue One?
I mean, recently with Mandalorian and Grogu, like the first scene, he's just in the darkness blasting people. I'm like, all right, Star Wars, like leave it. Don't like overdo it. Like we have some pretty cool ones. Don't overdo it, please.
Also, did you guys notice not once in the movie does he ever use a batarang?
That's true.
He never throws a batter like he uses it to cut the cord at the end of the movie to fall
Yeah.
into the thing, but he never
I think
throws a batter.
the one on his chest is the only one he has.
Probably maybe.
That's why he couldn't
Um,
get all the Riddler trophies because he only has one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
there
think
we go.
I think he'll probably have more batarangs in the next one. I just think, it doesn't bother me that he didn't use any. I think probably he, in his thinking about if I were Batman, um, in his mind, he's not he's getting up close and personal. He's not throwing stuff at people. He's not at that point yet, you know?
Mhm.
But I think maybe next one he'll probably pull some out. I hope.
Is there any other scenes that y'all really wanted to discuss?
I was gonna mention, I know you guys like the first fight with all like the street thugs. My favorite fight scene is like right there in the end with all like the Reddit Riddler goons, like at the top like of the stadium. Like when he came through and blasted like the whole ceiling, it reminded me of Arkham Knight, man. And he grapple gunned those two guys off. It was so cool.
My favorite fight is when he goes into the iceberg lounge for the first time,
I
and
love that.
he rips
That's
the
so
baseball
good.
bat out from the guy and just starts whacking people.
And the penguin comes down and he's like, "Whoa,
Whoa,
sweetheart,
whoa,
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 sweetheart."
Dude,
whoa,
I love that
Everything
the
they say,
penguin calls
Anja.
him champ. The penguin calls him champ to his face.
whoa. Oh,
The penguin
especially
in
when
this movie
he's,
is so good.
I can't remember, was it after that or before when he came in with like his hood, like bite, like hooded scene, and he goes in like the control panel room and he just like two taps that one guy in there?
That's
That's
right
the
Dude,
second.
before.
That's the
the
second
Yeah,
second
time.
that's the
time?
second time.
Okay, that
That's when
was
Selena
so
Kyle
cool.
is going in to kill Falcone, and he's
Yeah.
going in after.
Oh man, like when I was watching in theater and he just two tapped, I was like, like just a little bit of a move up. I was like,
It almost happens too quick, and like that guy's
yeah,
dead.
because you don't have time to process it. You're like, then Batman's like, now talk. Like that's moments where I'm like, no, he's not getting up from that. But I think that covers everything that I have on the Batman for me at least.
Let me ask y'all something. Did any of you, either of you, see the deleted scene with the Joker interrogation?
Yes, I did see it, and
Yeah,
I'm glad they did not have it in the movie.
same.
Why?
I feel like
Why?
it would have added a piece that felt off from the rest of the movie,
Hmm,
like, save the Joker for his own, movie.
I agree. Like every, I don't think thinking of all the Batman projects we've had, like I think all of them have had Joker in it. Like I thought like what we had was just like the right amount of like show, hey, we might lead into this Joker, but like we're just like, he's around. Like don't forget him. Don't forget about him if we want to use him later. I thought it was just the perfect amount of Joker.
That's fair. I really like that interrogation scene, that deleted scene. I was just curious about whether or not you guys thought that should have been included in the movie. I think
Hmm.
that they made the right choice. I think it would have added a layer, but I also think that the excitement of having another Joker maybe would have taken away from people's. I think it would have taken people out of this already complex storyline that they're running. I think it would have taken people's brains out and trying to figure out whether or not they liked what they just saw.
Hmm.
Because
I
people are
would
so
not have
picky
liked
over the Joker.
I would not have liked
Yes.
it that, "Oh, they already Batman and Joker already know each other." I want, like, them to be fresh whenever they meet for the first time in the future.
Mhm. The
I don't know. I
last
kind
thing
of
I
like
was
the
gonna
thought of
say,
that.
oh, I was gonna also mention on this Joker, what are your thoughts on like what's his I don't know his actual name. I know his first name like Barry.
Barry
Keegan, I
Keoghan.
think?
Yeah. What are your
Keegan.
thoughts on him being Joker? Like I know we only had like such a small bit, but I thought it was an interesting cast choice, but like I'm willing to give it a chance, but I don't think anything's ever gonna beat Heath Ledger's Joker, unfortunately. But like I'm kind of intrigued at least.
Personally, my favorite Joker is Jared Leto.
Mine is Joaquin Phoenix in Joker 2. The best movie ever made. I love the musical.
Oh.
Also, a really underrated Joker is Jack
Oh.
Nicholson.
That's true.
Just saying. But
That's true.
I think you're right, Sean. I don't think anything currently could beat Heath Ledger. I would just worry that based on the deleted scene I saw, he would try and lean into maybe doing a little bit of a Heath Ledger voice tone inflection type deal.
Hmm.
I kind of got that vibe, which I don't want them to do like a recreation of that in any way, shape, or form. His look was a lot. I
Yeah,
think they could tone that down just a bit if they do bring him back, because that was hard to look at, obviously, but I liked a lot of aspects of it. I like the idea that he has some sort of disease or like condition. I've always thought that that would be a good idea, not just that like he just wears makeup or he like got a bullet through the cheeks or, you know, he got knife scars or whatever. I like the idea that there is something he cannot control about it. That being said, I think that look was a lot, a lot to look at. I think
They
they
might
could tone
be
that.
they might be going for the like the storyline where he like falls in that acid pit in like a
okay.
factory or something. I think
Yeah,
it's in The Killing Joke.
I was gonna ask
yeah.
like why. I was gonna ask you guys because you guys know a little bit more like why they went for that look. If there was some like sort of comic or like animated show where he just looks like a fungus on
If
its
if I
face
had to
because he looks
guess,
pretty gross.
if I had to guess, they're going for the where he falls into like an acidic pit or something.
I mean, if that's the case, though, they've taken some liberties with what that acid did to him, because
Hmm.
in the Killing Joke and in Tim Burton's '89 Batman, when they fall in the pit, they just come out looking identical, except they have white face and green hair. In
Hmm.
this, if that is the case they're going for, heavy on like my face just got boiled, which makes sense. I think in a much more real sense, like if I fell into a vat of boiling acid, I don't think I'm going to come out looking identical, just with a an extra white face. Excuse me. Um, I I don't know, but not that I'm aware of. To your question, Sean, if there's a version of Joker that looks quite so disfigured, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Because the only thing that I can think of when you're talking about them falling in acid was it the Birds of Prey movie with Jared Leto and Margot
No,
Robbie? Is
Suicide
that when
Squad.
That was Suicide Squad. Okay, where they fell in and they just had like Nickelodeon like slime on them. I'm like, I what is happening?
That did look a lot like Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, yeah. Well, does that cover everything we wanted to talk about for Batman Part One?
Jacob,
Yeah,
is there anything else for you?
I think I'm good. I like the ending when when they're both on the motorcycles, and then he looks in the rearview mirror and he's like, "I'm leaving her behind to go save Gotham."
Yep.
Oh, another part too near the end where he was leading the people out of the water with the
Oh,
flare. That was beautiful. That
wallpaper.
was so good. That was like boom, character development.
Hmm. And him, like, I think they were on top of like a tank or some sorts, and he's just like helping people out of the flood too, like just showing that Gotham, like, kind of, you know how we were talking about at the beginning of this episode, is that everybody kind of like that guy feared him. Was worried that he was gonna hurt him, and like this lady was like trusting him to take care of her. Like I feel like that added layers that might go into Batman Part Two of Gotham, like being trusting him a little bit more as as the protector.
And I think that will lead more into I think if he comes to the realization that he can be a beacon of hope as Batman, he can do more as Bruce Wayne. And I think that will lead
Mm,
him more into the next movie of him being a little bit more Bruce Wayne esque, not just being Batman without his mask.
right. Gotcha. Well, anything else?
I think I've covered it. Ratings. Sean, what do you rate the movie?
Um, for me, I would put it at like a nine, honestly, a nine. And that's only just because, like, again, that was like my reintroduction to Batman after watching Christian Bale. So, like, I wish I went in with like a little bit more like comic book knowledge and things like that. But like from like a movie standpoint, honestly, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Jacob?
This is the movie that I've rewatched the most in the past 6 years. I it's 10 out of 10 for me, top 5 movie of all time.
Yeah, I'm in agreement
Mhm.
there. This is also a 10 out of 10 movie. This is a movie that I never get bored watching and would be happy to put on at any point in time and love every minute of it every time.
Yeah.
There is nothing that didn't work in this movie for me. 10 out of 10.
And I think a lot of people will agree with. I think our opinion on this is like even if you don't like Patterson, like Robert Patterson specifically, I think you will like the story and where it goes in this movie. I think people will really like it
And
if
Mhm.
you
before they
haven't
come
watched it.
for us, The Dark Knight is like a 9.5 or even a 10 out of 10 also.
Hmm. Hmm. You think the darkness is your ally?
Not The Dark Knight Rises, that's like a 6 out of
I don't know
Um,
if I agree with you on that, Jacob. I love
10.
The Dark Knight.
Like, maybe a 7.5.
yeah, there you go, there
Yeah,
you go.
like it's in the upper the high side of that, but it's not quite a 10 out of 10 for me. If
Hmm.
it didn't have the Joker, it would not be as
Yeah,
high. I'm not
yeah.
basing so as a movie, yes, it's very highly rated, but if looking at Batman iterations, it's not that
Mhm.
high.
Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker carries the movie, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
Sean, you
think.
wanna wrap us up?
Yeah, I think that wraps us up for our overall review for Batman Part 1. Make sure you like, subscribe. Again, we talked about it last episode. We are now on Spotify, so if you prefer to listen to us there, check it out there. We're also on YouTube as well. And comment down below. What are your thoughts on the Batman Part 1? And then next episode, we'll talk about Batman Part 2, castings and expectations. But this is Sean from Too Many Timelines, along with Jacob and Ian, and thank you guys for watching.